I get so lonely. Hey, can't let just anybody own me. No, you're not feeling it?
I don't know it.
You don't know this song? God.
Why do you act surprised anymore? Like,
okay, all right, let's throw it back a different way.
Don't throw it back. That's the first step. Don't throw it back. Don't throw it back.
Do you remember the time when we fell in love?
I know that song. Keep going, though.
Do you remember the time when we first met, girl? No, you're supposed to like jump in and start singing too.
Wait, who sings that again?
Oh shit, for real?
Nah, I feel like I know what I'm scared to say.
Nah, you gotta say it now.
Nah, bro, because you niggas have finished me.
They will. They're going to when they realize that you don't know who this is.
Because I feel like, do you
Come on.
remember?
I believe you, Michael.
It's Mike, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
okay.
Daddy, when you...
It's because you took it somewhere different. I don't remember that line, so I kind of I got shook for a second.
When we first... It's literally the second line of the song.
Yeah, bro.
Ooh, Chile.
Look, you know,
okay,
the other day,
Chile.
So the other day I was at an event, right? And it was basically what they was doing. It was like a old people love to do the all right, can you guess this song, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was the way they did it was they had the DJ play like the beginning of the song. When I tell you they played, I was sitting next to this person who was probably about maybe 10 years older than me, maybe, right? They didn't even play no words. They literally played like doop 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 doop, whatever that was. I don't remember the beat. They played that beat, and she said, "I know it." And I'm looking at her like,
"Listen, there's just certain songs like once you hear doom 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 doom, if immediately you don't start then you have to go. Like you gotta
immediately you just start getting. It's like
immediately you have to get off of the dance floor. I'm running you over. I got places to be. Y'all about to get this electric slide. You make me happy. Dun, 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 dun. This and you just refuse to jump in. Oh my God.
Bro, I don't know the words like that to be jumping in.
No, stop. That's why I can't stand Caribbean people. That's a different conversation for a different time.
You make me happy. Fuck. Wait, I lost the tune. Do it again.
You make me happy. Dun, 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 dun,
wait, stop. This I can't tell. Is it?
Hey! You know what? Fuck it. We'll give it to you.
Wait, what's the actual line?
This you can tell.
Oh, this you can tell. Yeah, I knew I fucked up. It ain't feel right.
It's all right. I probably fucked up the lyrics too, but nobody cares because as long as I got and the middle part, you can't fuck the middle part up either.
What you mean?
Come on, you know that part. You know that part. Before I let you. Yeah.
Nah, bro. There's some like notes.
We're gonna induct you one day.
There's some notes out there. I told people there's some notes that people hit that's like the greatest of all time. Like I'm gonna give you my 3. I'm gonna give you 3 right now.
3? I'm
gonna give you 2 actually. 3. I hoping by the end of these 2, I'll give you 3. What's that song? Lauren Hill.
X Factor?
Killing Me Softly.
Oh, Killing Me Softly.
The bridge? That's probably the number 1 bridge ever. The bridge.
You know the words to that song? I'm so proud of you.
That is probably the greatest bridge ever. The way she held that bitch, one of the greatest bridges ever. Mary J. Blige and damn,
and everything.
Nah,
you talking about? Be Without You?
Yeah, Be Without You. And Fake. What was the other one? There's another song.
Mm-hmm.
There's another song she bodied.
I know before I let you go.
Nah, Be Without You and Killing Me Softly. The way they hit them notes, boy, is just shit. It just make you. This shit hit at the right time, man. You in that song. You feeling what they feeling.
Yeah, you feeling it.
I remember I was a kid. We always joke about this. When I was a kid, boy, Mary was singing that.
As they used to say, you wasn't outside. You wasn't outside.
Mary was singing that.
You wasn't
song,
there.
boy.
You wasn't with us.
Like I was in a divorce. Like
I don't know what it is, but when she goes through tragedy, I'm here for it. I don't want to wish
Mary
bad on nobody, but
Mary been living life too good because the music is. I need her to go through something. Give me
something else. Like maybe she's like steps on a Lego and then that's just it. She gives us.
I was just listening to
she gives us Be Without You Part 2 again. I was
just listening to Real Love and I was like, shit, Mary. It doesn't feel like the real love. Just might.
No. I think one of my favorite Mary J. Blige songs has to be the one with Little Kim. I Can Love You Better Than She. I don't know what I was going through at 10 when I discovered that song. But when she sat there and was talking about how she loves that man more than that other girl do, why you keep fucking with her? You don't see me here. You don't see me, Timothy, from the 5th grade. You don't see me here.
911.
I was out here going through 911?
it. 911. Huh?
Oh, with Wyclef? No, that
when
right
I was
there,
a kid,
top 10 for
I didn't
me.
get it.
Definitely top 10 for me.
I didn't get it. It wasn't until
top 10.
I think it was last year I heard the song again. I'm just like, oh my God.
I can only listen to that song when I'm in a mood because if I listen to it and I'm not already there, it puts me in that mood. I don't want to be there.
Like, that's a bag song.
When he belted like somebody, and when Wyclef do that, you know the noise that he make. I'm sure it got to be because I feel all his ancestors coming through when he like really gets into that bag. Listen. Let me tell you something. That song right there, top 10, got to be top 10.
Fact. It's just for
everything is top 10.
Yeah, for a second, let's just talk about some songs that just hit. You know, if I
all of mine are top 10s.
You mean the greatest song ever? Just songs that hit, like it just bounce off each other. Like you remember "Sweetest Girl" with Wyclef, Akon, and Lil Wayne?
Oh,
boy, that song used to hit for some reason. I don't know why. Like that shit hit.
Are you talking about like passionately hit, or like every time you just hear that?
It could be anything. Just go whatever. Just for another 3 minutes. We had 7 minutes.
That's tough. That's really hard.
Just bounce off each other.
Ooh, Chile.
Something you forgot, Lil Wayne?
That was
boy. You don't remember?
No, what was that? What was the song by? No, because you said top 10 or like not top 10, but like hit. Stuff that hit for me. What was that one song him and Drake was in? And I remember the beat doing like oh my God. First off, you know what it is when you hear
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know why, but every time I hear that shit, it gets in my bag. Like I don't know who I think I am, but I draw like like I get little teardrops that like form on my face. Like,
why?
Like I'm Wayne. You know like the teardrops and shit. Nah. I like turn into Wayne, like my hair starts to lock up and shit.
That's not the motto. That's that shit gonna come to us.
That's not motto.
By the end of this episode, that shit gotta come to us.
God damn, now I gotta look that up. I'm sorry. Keep talking, I'm listening.
Damn, you think remember that point when because at first Wayne was killing it, then the Young Money came, then Drake came. Cause you remember what's that song? Fuck, it was a song. Oh my goodness.
I'm going in.
I'm going in.
And I'm going to go hard. Ooh. Oh. Okay, I have to say, like, I remember when, I ain't going to hold you. I remember when, like, Monster came out with, like, Kanye and all of them.
Yeah.
And Nicki spit that verse. I'm sorry. That's got to be, like, top tier verses for me. Every time I hear that, like every time I know she's about to come on, like everybody before her is like a warm up. She put her whole dick on the table, and I just after that, you really couldn't tell me nothing about Nicki Minaj. Like she got her antics, she got her like whatevers, but she became that bitch for me right there. It was a lot. Like I just.
Oh no! I'm about to say a line, and you gotta say that. You just pick up wherever you can. You can't finish this one? Shit, boy.
I don't know what to do. Now you got me scared.
Alright.
Now you got me scared.
And we don't want no problems. Okay, you a goon, but it's a goon to a cop.
Nothing. You ain't saying nothing. I can't say the rest of that line, but it's lit.
Steady vibing. Whoa, Kimosabi. Big ball ain't his vibe.
I wish y'all could see me dancing. That really used to be my shit. Oh man,
bro.
I feel like it's really about to end. This is really about to end of the year. Like we should, for one of the podcasts, go through like all the bullshit of the decade and
just recap.
Just do it, yeah. Because there was so many fucking great songs. Like, The Dream came and went.
That was this decade, or that was
T-Pain came and went. Nah, he was here this decade, wasn't he?
Bro.
Yes, he was.
In this decade?
The Dream?
Yo, this decade, I graduated
10 years.
3 times in this decade. What the fuck?
Oh no, I'm not making it. I was gonna say me too, but my shit definitely graduated.
Nah, technically not, right?
Nah, I graduated in 2020. That's the end of the decade.
Damn, you cat.
Yeah, his shit was like, okay, so The Dream started a little bit before the decade started, but he was still rocking through the.
For real? Nah, there's no way.
Yeah. 2007. That was his first album. Is what it looked like. Shawty is the
sugar honey
iced tea.
Pretty is when I see. My son fab.
Go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I remember. And that was back when music videos were still fake popping. Like I would run back for 106 in Park. I ain't gonna lie. Like 06, 07? Shit.
Like, what was I getting ready to say? Back when back when our biggest love song was like With You and shit.
Only with you. Yo, that video.
I don't know what song you singing.
With You by Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
It just sounded funny coming from you. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, that was like that's like one of the biggest love songs. Yeah, Say Goodbye used to have me in my bag. I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, it's never the right time to say goodbye.
And I was trying to steal the dance
moves. But
this
other
shit.
Girl is legit like right here, so I'm gonna just.
Yeah, that nigga was dipping. Like he was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like
he was like, yo, it's so hard to say goodbye, but like my next girlfriend is literally like right behind you, so I need you to just like move to the left a little bit.
Move. Give me that. If you ain't trying to do the choreography, give me that, bro.
But that was more 2005.
It just came to mind. It just came to mind. I'm just saying. I just wanted to say, like, if you ain't trying to do that choreography, then we can't be friends. If you ain't trying to do that,
that's a fact. That is honestly a fact. That is a fact. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, bro. Let's get back to 2000. Let's get back to late. Oh wait.
Nah, fuck all of that.
Fuck all that. All right, copy.
What's that one song by Neo that
every song? The fuck?
Lazy Love. Oh my god. That was one of them for me. I don't know why, but every time I hear that little beat drop. You said what happened? What did you say?
I said that before I even lost my virginity. I used to think, yeah, that gotta be lit. Like have sex and just chill and shit. Bro, like
I will confirm it is kinda lit. I ain't gonna
yo, bro, like I ain't gonna lie. Like,
he ain't lying that song not once. I ain't gonna hold you.
like, tell me if I'm lying. Like, it's dope to like, go out at night and shit like that, and come back and have the romantic and everything. That's dope. That's out, whatever you want to call it, right? Root. But like, ain't nothing like a good daytime nut that just puts you on your ass.
Real thing, baby.
Like a good daytime nut. Ain't nothing like that.
A good daytime nut. Oh my god. A good
daytime nut, bro. And you just on your ass. Alright, fuck. I guess I'm on my own on this one.
Nah, I mean I feel you. I was just all into the music and shit. I feel you. Listen, best days we ever had. I ain't gonna get too explicit, but you know which ones I'm talking about.
Best I ever had. That was a good one.
Oh man.
I bet one more thing. Wait, are you a mixtape person?
Am I a mixtape person?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to lie and say that like I am right now, but I will definitely say
not now. But I'm saying at one point were you ever like
I would say I dabbled in it definitely.
Nah, I was like a hot new hip hop and that piff regular. So
I mean, I was, but like for like certain things, if that makes sense. Like for
certain
it had
to
people,
be, like super popping. Like I was like I listen to everything. So
yeah, I can definitely say that I was not a. I'm not a deep undergrounder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I ain't going that deep. I ain't going.
Nah, because I was about to say during the mix, I was about to say like, what was your favorite mixtapes when the mixtape era was popping?
Nah, we ain't gonna talk about it. I gotta brush up on that. You can't just pop that on me like that. That's disrespectful.
My fault. You're not real right.
I wasn't. I ain't never good. I'll never be good. I'm sorry.
Shit. All right, quick. senior year of high school, what was your song or whatever? You had to. Can you even go back then? Like,
I was about to say, how old was I?
It's
What year was
2013.
high school?
2013.
God damn. God
if you had to just pick a
damn.
song from if you had to pick a song from, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my God.
Pick a song
ass
from high
though?
school. Pick a song
That
from high
ass
school.
though?
Just pick a song. 5, 4, 3.
I can't. No.
2,
Wait, no, don't do
1,
that. That's rude.
0.
Stop. I'm telling you, stop. All right, well, I ain't got one because I told you to stop. I told you. I would think, okay.
Just
like,
one song, bro.
I feel like around, shut up, I'm talking. So, like, I feel like I had a bubbly soundtrack at that time because I feel like 2013's was very, like, it was very popish, if that makes sense. So, I was definitely in, like, a Uptown Funk type of, like.
That's when you got cat.
Like Blurred Lines had just came out around that time.
It was problematic.
It like
you had to get you the fuck out of here.
I mean now, but in 2013 it was the shit. Drunken Love had just came out. So like, listen, we be all night. Love.
That was 20. That was.
I was lit.
Damn.
That was 2013. I believe it was 2013. Like, just hold on, we're going home. Going home. Just hold on. Oh, you leaving? Damn, you didn't have to leave. I'm just trying to.
Nah, you remember? Got the club going up.
On the Tuesday, my man never came back down.
That nigga's still going up.
He went up and he ain't never come back down. God damn.
Shit, Shot Glizzy had his moment. Nah, we gotta save this for the decade episode.
Okay, all right, we'll come back. And we even introduce the podcast. Hi, Waners, how are you? We're back. I mean, we're always back, but I mean, like, we back. So,
back again.
It's cool. We out here. Do that again.
Wait, what?
Do that one. Do it again. Do that. Yeah, I like that.
It's when it's authentic. You just ain't. Never mind. Got it. Keep going.
Listen, we ready to start the podcast 17 minutes into the podcast, so it's lit.
That nigga's tight because y'all about to get about another 15 minutes and then we getting the fuck out of here.
No, stop. This is the long episode. Last one was the short one. They got at least like a good 30 minutes. My God, yes.
Oh,
we're only 17 minutes.
I ain't came in here with that much.
All right, listen. The conversation's gonna go by quick. You don't even gotta worry about it.
It's gonna be a solo. I ain't gonna hold you.
Don't be like that. We got loyal listeners.
Go ahead, bro. I'm trying to drag this shit out if you want 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to drag that shit out too. All right, so listen.
Got it, boy.
There is this like post that I found. And I probably can't look at the post now. I'm gonna put it up as the new episode joint, whatever the fuck, right? So in the post, Shorty was definitely talking about how. Let me see if I can find it. She basically was saying that HBCUs are better than PWIs. And if you don't know what that is, Michael, would you like to tell them while I'm looking for this picture what either one of those are? Or both? Okay,
so HBCU.
Oh, you gonna talk all slow and shit.
Nah. Oh. No, there's some people that be out there HCBU and people
that all right. You right. You got it. All right. Okay.
HBCU. Historically black colleges and universities. Yes, of course. Just like it says. Colleges and universities that since their inception they were populated by and sometimes created by black people, right? This
sometimes created by black people. I just got that.
Nah, bro. I mean, I give credit where it's due. With that being said, to clarify, this is not a minority serving institution. Just because your school has a lot of black people in it, has predominantly black people in it, does not make it HBCU. It's about those whose history is rooted in serving black people since their inception. Right. PWI, predominantly white institution, like the name itself says, is any institution, basically your basic, your average, University of North Carolina, University of Kansas, any school that's like, since its inception, been created by white people. Population is predominantly white people. Policies serve white people, whiteness, as the kids like to say. And all that, right? So yeah, there goes that.
Okay. I was trying to find it as you were talking, but I guess I must have sent it to myself, and Lord knows.
Oh, you need me to keep talking? Because I can go.
All right, go ahead. Go, do like another solid minute for the people.
All right, bet. Another distinction to make. I touched on it for a second. I talked about the PWIs, predominantly white institutions, serving whiteness and serving whiteness on the platter. But it's really just important to understand, like, with PWIs, the culture is geared towards white people. So the homecomings will look different. The funding towards student organizations, certain student organizations, I should say, looks different. The way everything is designed, the music that's played, faculty, staff, everything, the whole vibe is going to be different compared to what I imagine the HBCU to be like, because I ain't go to one.
I mean, and we definitely did have a couple of like friends that have gone to HBCUs, but basically what she said was, college made me realize that PWRs are better than HBCUs. Notion is completely invalid. LOL. Opinion one, or no, wait, what'd she say? Oh, she said option one, go to PWI and get a good job. Option two, go to HBCU, get a good job, plus have more fun, plus have lack of stress associated with jumping through hoops of institutionalized racism in education. So I thought this was really interesting because you're not going to believe this, but I actually disagree. There's a really? Yeah, I know, right? Like, as black as I am.
Actually, no, because sometimes I know where your bullshit.
Where's the bullshit in that? Where's the bullshit in that?
Nah, no, I said I know when your bullshit's coming. In this one, I think I know where you're going. So,
would you like to give your opinion first, or would you like me to start off online?
No, go ahead.
So the reason,
because I think the world can imagine where I'm going.
Yeah, we all know where you're going.
And
I want to like disclaim. I want to put a disclaimer out there that it's not because I think PWIs are better. No, listen, because I think that historically, like, it does something for, not just historically, but present day, it does something for black people. And I would be a liar if I didn't say I didn't apply to HBCUs. I know the reason why I wasn't able to go is because, like, money wise, it just did not pan out for me. And that's the reason why I had to find. However, the reason why I say I don't necessarily agree with this statement is, one, just because you go to the PWI does not mean you get a good job. But in all reality, I think that we as black people, that like community, the community that I met and was able to forge bonds with, was a lesson that was like extremely invaluable. Like, I would not have been able to get that same experience, I think, to an HBCU. I think with HBCU, I would have a lot of pride. I think with AC, not bad pride, like good. Oh shit! Ouch. Good pride, not bad pride. But I think I would have a lot of pride in myself, a lot of pride in my school, and I probably would have felt more comfortable. However, like, I wouldn't say it was more fun because I would just have to say the experiences that I've had at at a PWI with those black people, I would say is more valuable because our community was much smaller and everybody didn't look like us. So we had to like compete not only against each other, but between everybody else. And I think there's also a small disparity in the fact that when you go to a school that's all one way, you are forced to you're not forced to, I don't want to say not think outside the box, because that's not accurate. What am I trying to say, Michael?
It's your bag.
I wouldn't say you're with like-minded individuals, but like you're hit with a lot more adversity, and I think you're hit with a lot more of different perspectives and things like that when you're in the classroom that provide different challenges when you go to a school that does not look like you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and for me, that's where before I go to continue, I agree with essentially everything you said. So I don't want to make you feel like I'm ignoring everything you say. I agree with everything. There's nothing that you said that was a lie. It was wrong in my opinion. I think it was all right. I actually want to just dive deeper into it and actually expound on some of it. So I see college or university, whatever you want to call it, as preparing you for when you get out. That's what it's supposed to be, right? Because I always tell people, like, what you learn the most outside the classroom. If you learn in the classroom, you don't need to go to class, bro. I'll give you a textbook. Read that bitch thorough enough, you're gonna get it. I don't know when, but you're gonna get it. right?
Mm-hmm.
Learned from the experience of going. That's why I'm so adamant about people going away, right? So with that being said, if I go somewhere where everybody looks like me, what does that prepare me for? You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, I think a big part of how you interpret your college experience, or how you interpret one being better than the other, a big part of it, and we talked about this before, is what was your upbringing. So for me, growing up in New York City, right, I never needed, I didn't have that I was thirsty to be around black people feeling, right? Not thirsty in a bad way. I don't want just like thirsty to, oh, you're thirsty. Like, no, I didn't have that thirst. I didn't have that hunger to find myself or anything like that. I had a strong sense of self. Another thing is, I don't deal with the plight that a lot of African Americans feel of not knowing where your family's from. I know where my family's from. So there's no, like I said, there's no lack of sense of self or things like that. So for me, I'm just like, well, college ain't got nothing to do with finding myself. This is about having fun, or at the time trying to play basketball, and you know what I mean, and just getting the hell away from my family and shit like that. So with that being said, for me, going to a PWI didn't bother me because I'm used to being around people that are different from me. I'm used to being on trains with white people, black people, Hispanic people, good with a turban, somebody with their face completely covered, an Asian person, like gay people, straight people, like everything, right? So to me, college was just a continuation of that. Now, from what I've heard, people who come from, you know, neighborhoods where they were the only black person, or they've constantly been that, you know, they've been the one, you know, Hispanic person, Asian person, something like that. They get to college, they're like, oh my goodness, I wish I was like someone else wish I was like those people who were at HBCU or at HSI Hispanic Serving Institution, where they got to be the only one. When they don't have to be the only one, you know what I mean? Like for them, they're coming into it with a different experience. So from what I've gathered, they believe that experience, that's why it's better than PWI. So I think a big part of it is where you're coming into it at that 18, 19-year-old years of age.
I mean, I think that definitely has something to do with it, but like, I'm not going to say I didn't care about any of those things because I wanted to be in the HBCU. I wanted to be with a bunch of people that looked like me, and I wasn't lacking in that area in terms of people not having it. So, like, I definitely see your point of view. I think that one thing that the reason why I say like the experiences that I had, I just couldn't let go of, and I think that they're a little bit more, I'm going to say more significant than somebody else's experiences, but I won't shit on PWIs specifically. When I've had conversation about people who go to HBCUs, it sounds hella competitive against each other, right? And not to say that competition in trying to do well is like it dissipates when you're at a PWI. But what I can say is that pressure to compete against somebody else that's black in my classroom is not necessarily there. Not in a way that I guess I've heard from people who actually go to PWIs, if that makes sense. It's like, well, I got to get this scholarship because I got to get this and I got to do that and I got to do blase, blase. Anytime my friends were eating, I was right there in the front clapping for them. Even if you weren't my friend, if I knew you from one organization to another, whatever the case may be, we were right there cheering you on and clapping you up because we're by ourselves. So
we were just competing against the system.
Yeah. So it was like, those bonds that I was able to create, say you can't create those, it just sounds a little bit more competitive against each other. And I guess I've learned more to work together in terms of blackness. And when you're in a space that everybody looks like you don't necessarily learn to work together. You learn to be the best of that space, if that makes sense. And I'm guessing it's the same for any other like race or culture or community or whatever the case may be. Like you don't learn to build together because everybody looks like you, like, which I got to build on. Like it's me. Like I gotta do better. I gotta do this. I have to do that. And obviously, I didn't go to HBCU, so I'm sorry if anybody feels some type of way.
Fuck that, man.
Oh, well, that was Mike, in case you couldn't tell the difference between voices.
I guess it's too sensitive about this shit.
it's not even about being too sensitive because there's a pride in being black and wanting to go somewhere everybody looks like you. There is, and I love
No, I'm
that.
talking about people being sensitive about their, like, oh, don't talk about my HBCU, my nigga. Like,
well, shit, don't talk about my fake HBCU either. No.
I'm just saying, like, people be getting too butthurt over some shit. Like, we can disagree. Like, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. But I'm cutting you off. I'm bad. My bad.
No, I just feel like there was a different, and I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure that there are people out there who went to a PWI and was like, nah, fuck those people. Like, they were trash. My experience was trash. And not to say that these experiences aren't at a HBCU. I just don't know if I would have made the same type of bonds there in the ways that I've made bonds with my friends. In the way that we all wanted to see each other eat, I don't know if that's the same thing. I haven't gotten that from people that I've seen go to an HBCU. Like, they've learned to eat for themselves. And maybe that's like, well, not maybe, that's valuable in its own right. And I would never knock anybody for that because, you know, I've learned that from a lot of people who are from New York City. However, I just don't know if my experiences would have been as meaningful if I didn't have to grind with those people versus like, I don't know. I think that community is just different.
Yeah.
The building of community is different.
Yeah. With them, like, I see like a pride in self almost in a way to like, it's kind of like, you ever been around somebody that's like to kind of deal with the pain that they feel inside, they're like almost overly prideful and boastful.
Could be, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what it feels like sometimes. It's like nobody's even coming at y'all. Why are y'all coming at us? It's like when men be like shitting on dark-skinned women or women in general. Like,
and everybody just be sitting there eating cake like, wait, what happened?
Like, what happened, bro? Like, you can like the white girl without shitting on like,
yeah, like it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like nobody, like I said,
I will say that like people who go to HBCUs cannot stand black people that go to PWIs. Like, I've had people look at me like upside down because I was like, yeah, I didn't.
Like, yeah, like they came to my high school and tried to recruit me. Let me tell y'all something right now. I didn't know HBCUs were a real thing. Let me make it very clear.
Wait, let me tell you my perspective. Wait, what? Now you lost me. What? I'm
gonna keep it 100% with y'all, right? And this is why when people hear me say HBCUs aren't for black people be getting all bad and shit. And I'm like, hear me out.
I really just want y'all to know that this is Michael Lewis speaking on the podcast.
It ain't for all black people. All right, y'all love saying all people. It ain't for all black people. All right. When I was in high school, right, I thought HBCUs was some made up shit that people was just, like. I didn't think people really went. And also, I thought nobody really went there. Like, nobody really went to them shits. I was just like, it's just something that like.
No, they go there.
But for me, first off, geographically, look where I'm at. Where I'm from, the schools people are looking to go to are Ivy League schools. So that's what you see as the pinnacle of, you know, college. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and then also like this, it's either the Ivy League or you go into the SUNY system. You know what I mean? Geographically, also first generation, nobody in my family's going to colleges and shit like that. Like, I have no context. Also college fairs, I didn't see any HB. Nobody came to my school. It wasn't like that, right? So I never knew about HBCUs. I didn't know what people were talking about until I think when I got to Buff State my junior year. When I hear people say, I wish I was at HBCU. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And my thing is this, like another thing that gets me really frustrated, I get really annoyed with, right? With people at PWIs, is this whole grass is greener like complex that they developed. I can promise you right now, everywhere is not like Howard. Everywhere is not like, you know what I mean, all of that North Carolina, you should call it HBCUs. It's not Hampton. It's not Tuskegee. It's not like that. There's some very, very poor and struggling HBCUs out there, right? That the experience that you'll have there, though some of those people might say, nah, I'd probably rather be at like a PWI. At least I could get like a better education. Or they're not even having that with it popping ass homecomings and nothing like that. Like, it's just struggling. You know what I mean? And it's not their fault. It's just lack of funding. I mean, I think almost every HBCU to a certain extent has an issue with lack of funding. It's never going to be what a state institution is going to be, like flagship or whatever. So with that being said, it's like I really get frustrated with the whole that grass is greener complex, because what ends up happening is we give up on our own institutions, and you're not building something for the next person. Someone's going to replace you. And if all you left there was just a trail of tears and complaining, the next person is going to walk into bullshit. And that's what we walked into. And that's why we were in the situation we were in. You know what I mean? Because someone else left just complaining. They didn't leave something for us, right?
So you're saying it really doesn't matter what side of the fence that you're on.
Yeah, if all you're doing is just talking shit and you're not helping and you're not leaving something behind for the next person, this shit not gonna be good for black people in general. That's why you hear partly them older heads talking about, yo, back in the day we had it lit. Well, why aren't we lit? Where did you fuck up at? Where did you fuck up at? And you know who I'm talking about, and I hope y'all listening. Where did you fuck up at?
I'm gonna wait until I get on the safer side before I start wilding, but just know that I agree.
Where did you fuck
when
up
y'all
at?
meet me on the other side? Just know,
everything was so rough.
For all of y'all.
Everything was so popping. Everything was rough. Everything was this. Everything was that. Why is it not like that right now?
I think, yeah. I mean, there's so much that so many different pockets and corners that you can take in terms of in this conversation in general. You're right. It really doesn't matter where you went if you're not doing something that benefits or leaves some type of mark for the next person in order for their journey to be better, then yeah, it's all gonna be trash, and it really doesn't matter what happens.
It don't matter.
Insinuating that your school is where it's supposed to be financially and academically, let's put that in there, because that's hard for somebody else to be able to change something if a school is struggling, right? And in terms of our school was struggling, other HBCUs are struggling, so it doesn't matter. Taking institution and what they're able to do out, the experiences you have there is really what, I wanted to touch upon. And I think that it's kind of like you said, I don't understand. If I'm just sitting here minding my business, why are you coming for PWIs? If we liked our experience, I feel like we should just be able to like our fucking experience, because you weren't there. And I don't want to, I think that's why I keep saying, you know what? If that was your experience in the HBCU, then that's your experience, and I'm sorry if it makes you feel any type of way. Because at the end of the day, if you're saying your HBCU was fucking lit, then it was fucking lit. But stop attacking PWIs we not fucking lit.
We love our corny ass class. Whoa.
Yeah, leave us alone.
Like our shit.
We love each other and love ourselves. And I think HBCUs are great, especially if you're trying to learn something about yourself and learn something about blackness and learn something about community. By all means, this is not the podcast trying to tell you not to go, because I'm the last person. Like I said, I wanted to get into one. I got accepted into a couple. Money wise, it just didn't work out.
They ain't want your ass. That's what happened.
What? Shut up! You always talking, chatting shit. But yeah, and I would never tell you not to go. However, I am tired of being attacked as a PWI. I went up to HBCUs and was like, you know what, you ain't shit. While they sleeping, whispering in the air, you know you ain't shit. Fuck your school. Fuck this place up. Fuck your marching band. Fuck y'all. Fuck the dancers. Fuck everybody. It was I just wanted to live my best life by myself with my friends in my blackness and celebrate my blackness.
They be looking like the Arthur meme with they fist
both all angry. And it's just let us rock. Let us have our corny ass
bro.
What is it, homecomings? We can't have what you have, but don't put us down for not. I say, because a lot of people can't go to HBCUs due to money. So you were very privileged in order to be able to have those experiences. And you telling us we way less lit or we way less black, I don't see how that helps or solves anything, but makes the disparity between PWIs and HBCUs even worse, I guess.
I ain't gonna lie.
Because my black is still black though, right?
Big facts. Black is beautiful. Black is gold.
Talk to me nice, daddy.
What I'm gonna say right now is gonna transition to our final. I think it's gonna be our final question. Looking at time.
You thought. No.
we going to the night.
10-hour podcast.
It's a telethon, y'all fucking.
It's a telethon.
You got to go live in this bitch.
Yeah, it's lit.
But I remember when I got to Buff State, I didn't want to join any of the student orgs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be around the black people, and the reason why is because I just felt like an outsider. I felt, partly because I was a basketball player all my life, I didn't know how to socialize outside of basketball. But it was also, it just seemed so competitive. I saw people being petty to each other. I saw people being mean to each other, nasty to each other in a number of ways. And you know me, like I don't, as petty as I am, I really don't have a mean bone in my body. As soon as people start really getting in that bag, I kind of just shut down. I don't really want no parts of it. And I look at HBCUs, I look at the way some HBCU graduates or current students talk about other people or the things that they have going on in their own lives, in their own worlds. And I'm just like, I don't want to be there. Now, and with that being said, I want to talk to you about a conversation I had with my mom recently. We were reflecting on my sixth grade, when I was in sixth grade, and how I got transferred to this white school, and how, like, man, like, they were coming for my neck. Like, every 5 seconds, they were trying to get me in trouble, and the other kids that came to the school through this program, there's No Child Left Behind. Shout to Bush. But
no shout out to Bush on this fucking podcast. Don't fucking think so. We recognize 44, and that is it.
44. Hey, listen, at this point, I'm sure niggas would take 43.
No. No.
But on a serious note, we were talking about how they were just trying to get me the fuck out of there. My mom was telling me about how after me, she had a school bus run there, and there was another kid, the black kid that was placed there, and there was this lady that was the way she was gunning for me, she was gunning for him until they actually got him kicked out, right? Thankfully, I was able to actually graduate from there, but they actually got the boy kicked out. And she was just, we were just saying, like, yeah, like, there's some white people out there that just hate black people, right? Just hate black people. And I'm getting to something with this, right? So with that being said, we talked about that, and I just said, yeah, I just remember how hard it was for me to just be at this all-white school when I was watching the other white kids get in there. Their lunches packed for them. They came in, they had they had the Power Rangers lunchbox or whatever it was, and I'm over here just eating, school lunch and everything like that, and they having little toys for them during break, and I'm just sitting here reading books because I ain't got nothing, thank God, but I ain't have nothing else to do, right? So with that being said, and I was just like, man, like, I don't ever want my kid to experience that. And I told my mom, I was like, it makes it difficult because I don't know where I would want to send my kid. Like, do I send him to the, black school where, and I'm generalizing now here, people, so nobody kill me. Do I send it to the school where they might look like everyone like them? They might look like everyone there, but they might not be getting the best resources. Or do I send them to the white school where they'll be safer? And they'll get better teachers, better resources, and everything like that.
But is it really better though?
I'm generalizing. I'm getting to something. I said, and I'm not gonna say but, and they're the only one, and they're gonna go through a traumatizing experience. Because yes, it was traumatizing. There are some parts of that experience that have not left me, right? So with that being said, like, what do I do? And now that brings me to our final conversation. Where do we send our kids? PWI, HBCU.
I can't ever answer anything like one way or the other.
I know you weren't. That's why this is more of just a conversation piece.
So I'm gonna give you reasons for both in the best way that I can. If I say PWI, I would hope that I have instilled enough pride in my kid and enough like independence and will to fight for things that are right and will to advocate for themselves. And I hope that our communication is open where if something happens to them, they know how to come to me, know that mommy and daddy got you, and we will shoot this bitch up if that's what it means to get justice for you, right? And that nobody can shake your blackness and nobody can shake your pride, period. And that's one thing that I would say that my parents, specifically like my mom, did for me. My blackness was nothing that I ever had to question. The color of my blackness, maybe not because of her, but because of other people. However, I knew black was beautiful, and I knew that we were powerful, and we were smart, and we were innovators, and we were thinkers, doers. Like, we are the culture in so many different aspects. So I hope that I would be able to instill that same type of pride that I was given, right? If I chose to send my kid to a PWI. Problem with that is, do I really want my kids to be that traumatized, right? In terms of the experiences that they have. I was in a program that was mostly white within a black school. So it was strange because I got both
To
experiences.
clarify, you're talking about high school, right?
Yes, high school. Sorry. So I was in the IB program, which was extremely white. However, within a black public school. And you only could get into that program by testing in. And some of the comments, some of the things that happened to me, some of the things that are said and done, you, like you said, you can't take that back. Like that shit you can't take back. And that shit sticks with you forever. And every time I see somebody who's white, sometimes I have to guard myself a little bit more than I would if I see somebody who's black. And that's something I don't think I want my kids to have to experience. So I would, if they were to go to a PWI, I would hope that I've instilled enough power into them where they know their worth regardless. I would like for my kid to go to a black school, and I hope that I would instill that education and doing the best that you can and being as great as you can is bigger than the obstacles you'll have with the resources, if that makes sense. I didn't necessarily have the best books, but that didn't mean I didn't read them. That didn't mean I didn't go to the library and pick out better books. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't mean I didn't further my education on my own. You don't even necessarily even need a book at this point. My page is ripped out. Bet we buying that book. Like, and it's nothing. You got a Kindle now. You can walk around. Shit, you can do it on your phone at this point. So I would hope that I've instilled education and how important that is. And even if you don't necessarily go the traditional education route, if you want to trade, if you want to be an entrepreneur, start your own business, whatever, but you know that you need those founding blocks. That is important. And those resources is not what's going to stop you, because there are thousands of people who are given shitty books or no books at all, bad computers, no computers at all, getting scholarships, Harvard, wherever you want to go. Fuck Harvard, because you know what? That's a very white institution. Howard, whatever you want to say in terms of black schools, like, who are accomplishing goals regardless of the resources that they have been given. So if it's a black school, I hope that I've instilled in you the importance of your education and going farther, regardless of if you went there. If you wanted to go to a PWI, I would just hope that I've instilled the power in you, if that makes sense. And I guess personally, I probably would put them in a black school until they said they wouldn't want to. If there was a program that my kid tested into, I would let them try it out. And if they really want to come to me and say, you know what, this is not it, by all means, we're bowing out and we'll get you those opportunities somewhere else. Because they're definitely everywhere in, anywhere you want to look. So, fuck that.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Up until they're 18, obviously it's our decision, right? So it's not really theirs.
Not even though. Like, I feel once you're able to communicate, like what's happening to you, that is when it becomes your decision. You know what I mean? I'm going to sit you down and really talk to you about what's happening to you, because I had to have conversations with my mom. I can't go to the school anymore. And here are the reasons why I cannot go to the school anymore. And like, I would never want to stifle my kid in a sense where I'm making that choice and they're having the experiences because of what I want. I might want her to go to that. Well, I probably would never want them to go to that white school, but I might want her to go to that school because of the resources and what they can provide for my child. But if she turns around and she says, I can't do A, B, and C in class because they're picking on me, then she's not really being able to utilize those resources now, is she? If there's racism happening in the school, she's not really going to have the best experiences now, is she? And not to say that she would get them better at a black school, but at that school, she's not getting it. So that means you got to go. And we got to put you somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that.
Sorry. You know how passionate I get about education. Don't play with me.
Oh. But yeah, so it's initially our choice, I guess you could say. And however, I'm really big on let's talk about it. And here's why I believe you should go somewhere. I'm really also big on, I never tell somebody to do something without explaining to them why they're doing it or why I believe they're doing it. They should be doing such and such. I'll explain to them, I'm like, listen, I know you might not feel the most comfortable here. And if you articulate to me certain goals, this is how you get there. You know, we just watched The Shop with LeBron James. He talked about how he went to the white school because that put him in the best position to reach the goals that he had. You know what I mean? So if you tell me like, hey, I want to do something with art, and the art school is white as cream cheese, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm like, listen, this is what you said you wanted to do. This is what it is. You know what I mean? And let's talk about how we can support you on the other end, on the weekends or after school, to balance it out. You know what I mean?
But we're still insinuating that it's better just because. Well, I guess that's a different conversation for a different time. But.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? If I'm saying that school has the program you want. Like you said it wasn't just me. I'm not the only one who just said it. You just said it too. If the white school has the program you want, and you tell me that's what you want to do with your life, that's what this is what it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, as far as college, like I'm a big believer in, you know, get all the trauma, deal with it later after you succeeded. And I know that's not.
Sheesh, that's not healthy
at all. But my lens is I've been broke. My family's been broke. We've been unsuccessful. And I've seen people chase what they love, and at the end, they still not happy. So either way, you're going to have some trauma. You might as well get something out of it. I mean, life's just hard as fuck. That's my lens. I like I said, it's not my... I'll just give you my perspective, and you decide. But I'll never... I can't tell you what school to go to. I pray my kids don't ask me, well, what do I do? Because I'm going to give them the hardest... Bro, that's on you. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even I'm not even going to be one of them people that's like, oh, well, I'm paying, so you do... Wherever you want to go, you got it. As long as you don't say no wild shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine what even wild shit would be. Because if you can articulate to me why you want to do something, I'm going to have to support you. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to raise autonomy and independence in my kids. So, yeah. Last thing I want to say, unless you want to respond to that.
We got another recording to do. Let's go.
Today? Last thing I want to say is I hope Black people know this. It might not have been built for you, but this is still yours. You know what I mean? Like, University of Kansas wasn't built for me, but I left the imprint there, and I'm proud of what I did there, and it's for me. You know what I mean? And it's like I think a lot of times, like we kind of like not. This is. Please, like, bear with me when I say this. Like,
I'm trying to.
Like, we, on top of the marginalizing that happens to us, instead of pushing ourselves in and fighting for what was actually built by us, we kind of just say, well, fuck it, we don't belong here. I do believe this part, America is something that we belong in. It's ours. We're here too. You know what I mean? And as much of a separatist I am, and, you know, believe me, I'm a big believer in we should just go get our own shit. We're here, and a lot of this shit is here because of us. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. And it hurts me whenever I see Black people kind of like just not fight to have ownership of something that you're the reason it exists. You know what I mean? So if you're part of something, you know what I mean? Like I said, it might not have been built for you, but if you existed in it and you got through the struggle in it and you left the imprint there and you did something special there, that's yours. And be proud of that shit. A big part of what's hurting us is lack of pride, lack of sense of self, lack of, you know what I mean, just belief and self-confidence. And that comes from just recognizing your accomplishments and stuff like that. So in spite of, like I said, the marginalization, recognize that you belong there and you existed there and you succeeded there. And I really hope that Black people
listen, we built all this shit. This is ours.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Native Americans. I think we can split it with them.
That's a different podcast. But don't marginalize yourself. That's what I'll say. Don't marginalize yourself. There's enough of that. Don't push. But
also be safe though. Let's not do that. I don't like when you do that. I'm sorry. You have to be safe. No, fuck you, Michael. Because no.
It's never gonna. We're never gonna be able to motivate people if we always do that.
That's not true. Being safe is motivating them to pick the best.
What do you mean?
If you're saying things for them, right? Be prideful, be happy, and things like that. Make sure you're being safe about your decision, right? You have to understand some of these places are violent in completely different ways. Shut up, because I'm not just talking about PWIs. I'm also talking about HBCUs. So if you go there and it's a violent environment, don't do that. Be safe and protect your... I said what I said.
Now you getting that back too.
Michael,
turn the mic
off before you get yourself in trouble.
We was here before.
Please turn the mic off before you get yourself in trouble. Don't say nothing you can't take back from your job. Don't do that.
What happened, bro? What happened?
Don't do that. Because what I'm saying is, listen, we about to. That doesn't. Thank you all for staying with us today. I really appreciate y'all listening in.
I don't know.
Can I please end the podcast? Are you done?
Man. Or am I being violent?
Oh my God. You are. You're being abusive, which is violent.
I'm abusive?
That's what I just said.
This relationship is abusive because of you.
You always chatting shit. Anyway, listen. Thank you all for coming with us and listening to our podcast episode today. Man. Can I please end shut up. Then stop talking. They can't hear over you. Quiet. Shh. You said what you had to say. Please make sure that you subscribe and send to your friends. That helps the podcast grow. We appreciate all of our loyal listeners, and we appreciate anybody who's tuning in for the first time, the last time, in between time, in the meantime, whatever the case may be.
This the last time for you, nigga. Kick rocks.
Wow. I mean, people have their opinions.
It's the last time. The fuck.
Anyway, we really appreciate y'all listening, and we are the One Night Podcast. Goodbye.